because if you've known me for a while, or at least a year or two, or you're really close with me, you know I've struggled with my weight for a long time, and that this project came in a very, very dark time after I had experienced some really crappy things with my previous employer and my first incident of fat shaming, actually by the owner of the restaurant I used to work in. Um, so, all in all, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm holding things back. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to be as upfront about everything as I can, and I hope you see that. But I ended up picking the book, The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. What he likes to teach is the apparent cause, then another level, which is the underlying cause. So, like, when it comes to weight loss, a lot of people will say, oh, she just must not eat right. I do. I've lived in a strict keto household for a very long time. It's been about 4 years now that I've lived in a strict keto household. But there's still some things I eat, or used to eat, that I probably shouldn't have. But most of my issue is my genetics. I come from a very, very large family. Not necessarily people-wise, like number of people-wise, but size-wise. We are bigger people. So it's definitely been a struggle. And I know since I'm refilming this, the 30 days, I was astonished by the fact of what happened, and you'll see it, I hope. But the diet basis of this book is keto mixed with intermittent fasting. He does make some small tweaks to what you can have, like he prefers that you eat vegetables grown above ground. Keto, you can eat most any vegetable that's not sugary, like carrots, or potatoes that are full of starch. This, I can still have sweet potatoes, just in moderation. That's his main thing, is if you're eating slightly away from what you're supposed to, at least do it in moderation. But it's basically vegetables grown above ground, high protein, low carb, low sugar, mixed with intermittent fasting. So in these 30 days, I know I went from anywhere from my lowest fast probably being 10 hours to my highest fast being 27. In 30 days, I had a fasting tracker that counted how much I fasted in those days. And in total, it was almost 3 total weeks worth of hours that I had fasted during this time. That's a lot of hours. But I digress. Um, I hope you see how much I'm trying to be as open and honest about this as I can. And I don't film every day. It takes a lot of time that I'm not allowed to have in this video, and I just don't have time for. But I can still have things like during my fast, like water, coffee, and diet soda, like zero sugar, anything kind of thing. Coffee, when it comes to coffee, I can have my normal coffees. Dutch Bros is very good for this kind of coffee because they've got the sugar-free syrups that are really good, and almond milk. Almond milk is very keto friendly. So a lot of times it would be like a sugar-free chocolate macadamia macchiato with almond milk. Oh my god, you would not believe how delicious it is. Starbucks did discontinue my favorite flavor. I was kind of sad about that. But it gets a lot easier when you find the things you can have. Diet Mountain Dew does not taste that different. Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar does not taste that different. It helps a lot. Hard-boiled eggs, high protein, low carb, low sugar, you're good. But it's a rough one, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, so since I didn't eat dinner last night, and I've not been feeling the best all day, I haven't eaten in 19 hours now. My body is officially burning 60% more fat than it normally would on a ketogenic kind of state, which is between 12 to 18 hours. But for dinner tonight, we're going to go very fat heavy, especially because my body is in that heavy fat burning mode. But we're also going to put a little bit more vitamins and greens into my diet because I know I haven't eaten today. So tonight, dinner is going to be a half of a steak because my grandmother only had ginormous steaks. We're going to do half of a steak with the butter and garlic baste. And then we're going to do asparagus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ends off of it and cut it in half so it can cook a little easier and cook quicker. That's also just going to be butter, garlic, and I've got some of my dad's seasoning in the fridge, or in the pantry. And then on top of all of that, just to make it a little bit more fat keto friendly, we're gonna make a spinach cheese sauce, or the recipe I follow calls it spinach con queso. All I literally use is I put, I think, 2 tablespoons of butter in there. I've got some heavy cream, some cheddar cheese, and asparagus. I do add garlic because I like the taste with it, and I use my dad's seasoning just because it adds a little bit more of the flavor. But I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so I ended up being really, really short on heavy cream, so I had to use milk, which I really didn't want to because it's got more carbs and sugar. But since I haven't eaten today in now, what is it? I think 19 hours and 36 minutes. I can afford a couple carbs and a couple grams of sugar because I didn't use much, but it was just enough to give it more of a grainy feel. All it was 2 tablespoons, I think it might have actually been 3 tablespoons of butter, garlic, the heavy cream, the little bit of milk, and salt, pepper, and my dad's seasoning. And then after it's nice and combined, and I had put in the cheese, I used some reduced fat because it was on sale, and it still had a good flavor of cheddar, and then some whole fat mixed cheddar. Turned out nicely. After that's all nice and combined and starts getting that stringy, gooey feel, I just folded in the spinach for a couple of minutes. Worked just great. Asparagus, I just did salt, pepper, my dad's seasoning, some butter. I'd cut them in half so they cooked nicely. Got that nice floppiness to them. That's the best way I can ever cook them. And then I ended up getting my steak the perfect medium. I would have gone for medium rare, but my stove was being finicky. So today's dinner, spinach and cheese sauce on top of my steak with a good portion of asparagus, and another 80 ounces of water today. That'll be fun. Hopefully I can finish this. I did actually end up eating a little bit last night. I didn't eat dinner, but I did have some apples. It's the only sugar I've had in the last 20 hours. Kind of sucks. But that's going to be it for today. Okay, today, so we're proving that you can still have things like Starbucks when you're on this diet. I have my sugar-free cinnamon dolce macchiato with almond milk. It's good for the keto. It's got the almond milk, so it's not going to have as many carbs and sugars as normal milk or cream. The cinnamon dolce is actually really, really good. It's got a good cinnamon taste. It almost tastes like caramel, but it's not. And then for breakfast, we have some whipped cream cheese with strawberries. And it's been about 11 hours since my last meal, so it's a short fast, but it's still a little bit enough to get my blood sugar back down to that normal level. And you always want to keep switching up how long you're fasting for, so your body can't get used to it. Other than that, we're still at about 7 pounds. At dinner, I was forced to eat around 9 o'clock. Blood sugar had dropped really, really low. I had some apples and some keto cheese roll-ups, which, if you don't know, they actually do make keto tortillas with only 4 grams of net carbs, which is the carbs minus the dietary fiber, which when doing a keto diet like this one, that's what you want to follow. You do that. I did 2 tortillas, some shredded cheese, and then on the side I did some avocado salsa and sour cream. Just dip them in that, and it was pretty good dinner. That was also my lunch on Saturday, and dinner, I actually had a family dinner for my grandfather's birthday, so I had steak, roasted broccoli, and some sauteed green beans. Very keto friendly, and my blood sugar did drop again, so I had to have some more apples later in the night. I don't like having to eat a snack, especially with this diet. I'm not supposed to have snacks, but I needed it. My blood sugar had gotten really low again. Today's Sunday. I did weigh myself today. I'm another pound down, which brings us to a total of 8 pounds in 10 days. So today I did not eat breakfast. For lunch, I went to Red Robin's. I had the mushroom burger with a wedgie bun, which for them it means it's a lettuce bun. They're not that great. I ended up eating mostly just the patty, and I did get sweet potato fries. Sweet potatoes, as they still may be labeled as a potato, they are actually extremely keto friendly in moderation. So I did just have 1 small serving of their sweet potato fries, which was really sad because I really wanted more. That's the one thing I'm struggling with so far, is I want more of the things I normally eat, like sweet potato fries. Definitely wanted to eat a carrot cake cupcake at my grandfather's birthday last night. but can't have them. Carrots have too much sugar, not to mention the amount of sugar and frosting that was on them. It's getting tough. But hopefully I can keep my health under control so I can get back to straight lacing this diet. Still 8 pounds down in 10 days. I am not sad. Okay, so I know I mentioned I was having some health issues, so it's meaning my fasting is mostly at night right now. It's just getting really hard to keep my blood sugar and my heart working correctly. So I've had to start carrying an emergency juice. It's just a Body Armor Light, so it's got less sugar, less carbs, but it does help me if my episodes happen. Okay, I was wrong about Friday night's dinner. It was actually a buffalo chicken salad from Chili's. Saturday, had to be up at 5:30 in the morning to work a Easter event outdoors. It was very hot. Lots and lots of water. I think I had somewhere around a gallon. But there weren't a whole lot of options for food, so I did go just a little bit, but I did use my abilities in moderation, because Dr. Fung does say you can have some of the other things, you just have to do it in moderation. My moderation was I got a burrito full of all the stuff I can have: rice, beans, carne asada, guacamole, sour cream, a bunch of fat heavy things. The rice I'm allowed to have because it did not have sugar in it. But I did have a bit of the tortilla. I needed a little more. And it was a little hard to eat it as a bowl. I tried. Dinner that night was actually the steak and broccoli I thought I was going to have on Friday. And then yesterday was Easter. Easter got a little difficult to eat. Didn't eat anything for breakfast. I just had lunch at my family Easter thing. So I had an egg casserole, which is egg, ham, peppers, and what else? I don't think there's anything else in it. Egg, ham, and peppers. And I did have a little bit of the ham. I just didn't eat the crust of it, so it was a little boring. I really wanted some of the croissants that were there to put with them. It was a little bit torturous. And then dinner last night was steak and Brussels sprouts. So far down 10 pounds in 18 days. So I've kind of been experimenting all night. Didn't eat a whole lot yesterday because, as you can see, I've got my little heart monitor on here to try and figure out what's going on with my health. And I found that my heart tends to flare up most when I've got lower blood sugar, which this diet already has my blood sugar super low. I let my blood sugar get down pretty far last night before I ate my dinner. I did not eat breakfast. I did not eat lunch. Had nothing but water until about 7 last night, probably closer to 6. It was a good 22-hour fast. 23? 22? I think 22. And then I just had a Cobb salad from Salad & Go, ranch dressing, no blue cheese crumbles. I ordered extra avocado. They didn't give it to me. But today, I don't know what I'm eating, but I've got my good sugar-free vanilla macchiato, because apparently they discontinued my favorite flavor of sugar-free at Starbucks. And then I do have my emergency juice if my heart tends to flare up again. That's today so far. But today was very, very stressful, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Today, didn't eat breakfast. I did get a sugar-free green tea from Dutch Bros, and because the people could tell that I was so stressed, they gave it to me for free. It was just a sugar-free peach and raspberry green tea. Wouldn't suggest it. It had a very artificial taste to it. But it was state boards today, so I actually made kind of like a keto pinwheel as just like snacks to eat. I did the long thin slices of cucumber, layered them up a little bit, put like a spicy cream cheese mixture down, had some of that Hidden Valley ranch dip seasoning mix, gave it a pretty good taste. Then I put the turkey lunch meat and then an avocado sour cream mixture on top of that. Rolled it up, cut it up, kind of looked like keto sushi. Tasted like pinwheels. I was pretty happy. So my 30 days are now completely over. I lost a total of 11 pounds. So thank you, Dr. Jason Fung. But I don't know if I would necessarily say I would suggest it. I know I have personal health problems, and this diet kind of caused them to flare up a bit. So I'm not sure if I would recommend it, but I also know that's how my body is. But I am very happy to say I lost 11 pounds doing this diet. and it very much showed me how much I need to straight lace it if I'm going to do it, and how careful I have to be with how much of something I'm eating, or what necessarily is in everything I'm eating. It's very difficult to find foods in the grocery store that I can eat, but I know I need to do it this way. I can't have sugary sodas. I need to do better. But 11 pounds in 30 days, I'm okay with that. So that was my 30 days. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you went along this journey with me, but 30 days down, 11 pounds.